These are the top 10 most expensive mint errors ever sold. A mule is a very rare type of mint error where two different coins, or that is to say, the obverse design of one coin and the reverse design of a completely different coin, is accidentally paired together and minted as a unique mismatched coin. This is an example where the obverse of a Sacagawea dollar was paired with the reverse of a South Carolina state quarter, all struck onto a planchet for a Sacagawea dollar coin. This coin was graded by PCGS as MS64 and sold at auction in 2022 for $66,000. Then we have a coin that just completely defies all logic. A 1970s proof Washington quarter struck on an 1898 gold half-eagle. Parts of the half-eagle are still faintly visible in the fields on either side of the coin. There is literally no reason why this coin should or could exist. It is, however, graded by NGC as a mint error with a grade of proof 66 and as such sold at auction in 2023 for $93,000. Here is a fantastically unique error coin, well, or technically a trio of error coins. What this is are three proof dime planchets that were struck simultaneously in an Eisenhower dollar press. Now, while the coins were touching, they never overlapped, creating this matching trio cloverleaf dime planchet dollar error. Seriously, there just isn't even a proper word for whatever this is. It was graded and authenticated by NGC as proof 68 Ultra Cameo and sold at auction in 2021 for $105,000. Another famous mule error is this Lincoln penny obverse paired with a Roosevelt dime reverse, struck on a Lincoln cent planchet, effectively creating a copper Lincoln dime, I guess? Now, according to my knowledge and records, this has happened at least 7 times, or at least to say that 7 coins similar to this exists. 4 from the Denver Mint in 2001, 1 from 1999, 1995, and then another Denver Mint coin, but this time from 1993, all of which with a Lincoln obverse and Roosevelt dime reverse. The auction record belongs to the 1999 coin, graded as PCGS MS66 Red, which was sold in 2006 for $138,000. But in 2024, one of the 2001 D coins was sold at auction, graded as MS66 Red from PCGS for $114,000. In the year 2000, the first of the new Sacagawea or Native American dollars were being released into circulation, and apparently the US Mint learned almost nothing from the Susan B. Anthony dollar from almost 20 years prior, and again made it practically the same size as the quarter dollar. What could possibly go wrong, right? Well, this went wrong. A dual denomination mule error where the Sacagawea dollar reverse was inadvertently paired with a statehood quarter obverse from the Philadelphia Mint. Today, fewer than 24 of these coins are known to exist, with this MS67 example from NGC having sold in 2018 for $192,000. Here we have a coin that is truly unique, and in any other year or denomination literally could not exist. An 1859 Indian head cent dual obverse mule. In other words, the coin has no reverse image, but both sides are struck as an obverse with the same image. Apparently, in 1859, the blank or press configuration was changed, and the anvil and hammer dies were inverted from obverse to reverse, leading apparently to this mistake. Currently, only a single example is known. Graded by PCGS as MS62, it was sold at auction in 2008 for $195,500. An impressive wrong planchet error coin is presented next. An Indian head cent that was somehow struck on a gold planchet intended to create a quarter eagle coin instead, which means that a gold planchet somehow ended up in the penny press. Now, the amazing thing about this coin is that it is not even technically unique, as there are at least 6 examples of this happening that I'm aware of, not 3 from 1900, 1905, 1906, and a 1907 coin. The 1906 example set the auction record in 2009 when it was sold by Stack's Bowers for $276,000, and a year later, this 1905 PCGS example was sold by Heritage for $253,000. Something similar to that is this 1913 Type 2 Buffalo nickel coin that was struck on a gold $5 planchet. Amazingly, this coin was only discovered in 2019, but is without a doubt a unique coin with no other examples known. There is a test cut on the reverse of the coin where apparently someone wanted to check if it was actually struck from solid gold. It was last sold via private treaty in an NGC slab with a grade of AU53 for an astounding $400,000, and it has since been crossed over into a PCGS slab with the same grade. Now, the Buffalo nickel coin is graded and generally agreed upon to be a mint error similar to the gold Indian head pennies, but it could also have been a test strike or a pattern similar to the 1915 Panama Pacific half dollars in gold, one of which was sold in 2022 in a PCGS slab for $750,000. But those coins, that's a completely different story on their own. Now we have an error coin from the US Mint's early years, and at first you might be forgiven for thinking that this is a simple double-struck error, but what it actually is a 1795 half cent struck over a 1795 large cent. Let me explain. So this coin started out as a 1795 large cent, but that coin was struck wildly off-center and was deemed not suitable for circulation. That is the impression that you can now see towards the 11 o'clock position on the obverse of the coin. That off-center penny was then cut down to a half-cent size and restruck as a 1795 flowing a half cent. However, and this is the crucial thing, even though the diameter of the planchet was then reduced to a half-cent size, the thickness, however, was not, leaving the original deeper impression of the large cent still intact. This coin was graded by PCGS as MS66 Red Brown and sold at auction in 2022 for $444,000. But by far the most expensive and definitely the most famous error coins ever sold are the 1943 bronze cents. These are technically wrong planchet errors, as the US Mint was supposed to strike all of the 1943 pennies from the zinc-coated steel planchets during this year. But as fate would have it, a few of the older copper, although technically they are bronze, planchets were still left over from the previous year and managed to get mixed in with the steel blanks by accident. And when they were fed into the minting press, they were just struck as normal coins. This happened at all 3 working mints, but only a few dozen coins in total are known to exist, with Philadelphia being the most plentiful and San Francisco being the middle child, so to speak, with only about 6 coins confirmed to exist. In 2020, the finest known of these, graded as MS63 Brown, was sold at auction for $504,000. And actually, after the mint stopped making the steel cents, they went back to using the copper or bronze planchets in 1944. A few of those were then accidentally minted with the now incorrect steel planchets. And in 2021, an example of this, a 1944 S steel penny struck at the San Francisco Mint, was sold at auction, graded by PCGS as MS66. It managed to obtain a closing price of $408,000. But back to the 1943 copper coins and the most expensive error coin ever sold. That record belongs to the 1943 bronze penny struck at the Denver Mint. There is only a single example, just one coin that is known to exist. This piece was sold at auction in 2021, graded by PCGS as MS64 Brown, when it was sold for $840,000. Just for fun, and because you stuck around to the end of the video, here is something a little bit extra. Not strictly speaking part of the top 10, since there are far more expensive coins out there, but this is a Roosevelt dime that was struck on a zinc-coated nail, graded by PCGS as MS65, and I'm not kidding, this is no joke, this is actually a very real thing, and was sold at auction in 2016 for $42,300. Subscribe to WNN and activate all notifications with the bell icon to know when new videos are released. For the World Numismatic News, I am Numisman saying thank you for watching, keep collecting, and have a fantastic day.